What's going on, everyone? I'm back on the mic today from Spectral Sound, and welcome to today's video. And it's early in the morning for me. Well, it's not that early in the morning. I just woke up a while ago, so I'm still kind of tired, but I have places to go this afternoon, and I really wanted to record a video today. Because the sound we got here is super awesome. This is going to be a tutorial on that classic Excision hydraulic, rising or falling bass. And this was requested a while ago, specifically the bass from Excision Bass Cannon. So I'm just going to play a little bit of that track for you right here.
Fire!
There's some heavy sounds in there, and this song actually really isn't good quality, and I couldn't really find a good quality recording of the song, so I just had to import this, and so you can hear my remake of that big rising bass at the start. I put an EQ on it. This is all the post-processing there is. I put an EQ on it to just do that, so it can mimic that, lo-fi texture of the original track. So this is it with that EQ on it, and this is it without the EQ with actually good quality sound. There we go. Now that's how you make this is that bass. Like, it's really not hard to make that bass, and I got it pretty spot on if I say so myself. But the main thing with these basses, there's two elements to it. There is the big, nasty, robot bass at the bottom that's really growly and crunchy, and then there is the really screechy lead. So this is just that growly bass, and this is the lead on top of it, that screech. There we go. Alright, now I'm just going to take you through how I made this patch, because it isn't that complicated. Like, there really isn't a ton of stuff going on, just basic kind of things. So let's start. The first oscillator is a thick and thin with the octave down 3 levels. This wavetable is just like massive. It's this huge sounds that you can get from this, and I knew exactly, like, this was the wavetable I wanted to use, because you get really gritty results right off the bat. So I was trying to use warp modes, but I didn't end up doing that, so there's nothing going on there. Okay, so the wavetable position is at 109, going up with low frequency oscillator 1 by 7. Now all this is doing is just climbing upwards, and this is creating, that rising feel in this patch, other than the actual risingness of the MIDI, because I put the portamento on so it would slide up to here. I could do it all manually. So it's on mono legato. Porta is all the way up with 8 seconds. You just pull it all the way up, so you have a huge rise. So this is all that's doing. It's just getting the very end of that wavetable. You see, it is very nice at the beginning here, but this is where all the grit and power really comes in. So, okay, let's see what else I'm doing here. The level is at 51%. This is a very loud wavetable in general. So I just turn it down a bit, because the lead is kind of the main focus on this one, that screech. So this is just kind of background to really fill in the space. Alright, what else am I doing here? Okay, there's 2 voices on this, so yeah, they're right in the center. The detune is pretty dang low, and it's actually going down with LFO2 here. LFO2 is going down 100, so it's just a quick pulse down in the center. That's just to add a little extra width at the very start, because this is controlling a bit of the pitch bend to make it like it could go like to rise up, get up there at the very first start, and then slowly rise like it is in the original track. So okay, and also with the random phase, this random knob, when you turn it all the way down, it's the equivalent of the restart via gate button in Massive. That's kind of what it's doing right here. So it's adjusting the randomness of the phase of each of the voices. So the phase is at 50%. There's that much. You see those, there's the yellow line in the middle, which is where it is 50%. And then there's some yellow that you can see on either side of it. That's determining the randomness of the phases. They're at any point in that. If I turn the randomness all the way up, you can see the yellow gets bigger, and then it could be any phase, like at any phase at all, the randomness. And then when you turn it all the way down, all the phases are in the middle. That's how it works. So what's happening is I have this at 50%, and with LFO2, I brought it down negative 100. So it's at 50%. Each of them are at different phases, each of the voices, and then it just comes together into one to create a nice thick sound, which you got here. It's hard to notice, but it adds a little, more power to that rev at the beginning. So on with that, I have oscillator B down 1 octave. This is a subby saw. I don't know. Yeah, this is just analog. Subby saw right here, and the wavetable position is all the way down. I'm not even modulating that. I am FMing from the sub just to add a little extra grit. You can hear like without the sub, and then with the sub. Just adds a little, all those frequencies are just shifting back and forth really slightly to the sine wave, because that's what it's doing. It's just a very low FM with a very low sine wave. So the frequencies are normally rising up like that. Now they're just doing a little shift as they're going through. It makes it more, metallic and robotic sounding. It fills it out more. And the sub is there all the way up just to add a ton of bass down 3 octaves, and it's just direct out because we don't want it going through any of the disto or anything else we're going to be doing here. Alright, the level was modulating with LFO2 75% down negative 90, and that's when I'm saying I'm modulating it down, you see it starts up and then it zooms all the way down here. So the up position, this very top position, is actually way down here, and then it zooms up like that. I don't exactly know why I decided to do it this way. I could have done it just as easily the other way, but I don't know. It just worked with whatever. Yeah, the FM is at 15%, like I said, just adding a little bit of FM. And this is also at 2 voices. Now the detune is a little bit wider for this one. It's 0.05. The blend is at 75. I don't think that matters too much. Yeah, the blend doesn't matter at all. Excuse me. Okay. The phase is 180, and the random phase is all the way up. It could be whatever phase you want it to. Alright, now that's both of them together with the sub. I had some horns of fear on this one, which basically in the noise oscillator there is this section here where you have all of these that actually have pitch to them. It's like an instrument, and I turn it on here. You can hear it. Okay, no, here. Shut up. Okay, there we go. I tried adding that, but it didn't really sound that good, so I just turned that off. You don't have to worry about the noise oscillator. Plenty of high frequency content is going to come from the distortion we will add later, because distortion is the key to all excision sounds. Now just a little bit of EQing here, and this is just on the oscillator A. This is acting kind of like an EQ rising up because the cutoff is at all the way up. I'm not going to say that number. And then it's going down with LFO2 down negative 25. So it starts out right there, and then it just lifts up really quickly. So you get a nice, it kind of just dulls the sound right at the beginning and then slides back up. So that's all it's adding right there. The resolution is at 9%, and we didn't add a drive or anything like that makes it all the way up. This is just basic filtering stuff. We didn't need too much with that one. Alright, and I believe that's it for this section. Did I miss anything? Yeah, the only thing so far with this was the wavetable position. Alright. Okay, let's go into the effects. I'm going to turn everything off. It ends with the reverb. So this is without any of the effects. Okay, and now obviously we need distortion. Chose a sinefold distortion for this. This sinefold just is a super heavy distortion. It really messes up the sound. Although the drive isn't that far up, you can see it makes a crazy shape right there. The drive is 14%, and the mix is all the way up on this one. So this is what we got now. That made it a lot louder. It added a ton of power, and it really, really made it a lot more death stuff, like this song is. All right, for the hyper dimension, this is a lot less for the dimension and more just for depth of the sound in general. So the mix is at 41%. The size is at 0 going up 50, 49, you know, whatever. That general area doesn't matter too much. So this is with the hyperdimension. Really fills out the sound and it makes it a really big sounding bass. Alright, for the EQ, this is just, the high end is very strong, especially since it went through this disto. So I have on here a, what's it called? A shelving EQ, there we go. So it's a shelving EQ. The frequency is at 12700 hertz up at the very top there. Q factor I brought down, it's at 36%. And the gain is at negative 15.2, but it's going down negative 20 with LFO2. So it's doing basically the exact same thing we were doing here. It's ducking down, and then once the bass comes in, it's rising up slightly. But it doesn't go up all the way. You see the gain is still pretty low down here when it reaches the top because there is so much high frequency. I might add more high frequency to that. However, I think I'm using a multi-band compressor. Yeah, I am. Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay. For the chorus, just to add an even wider sound, the rate is at 0.01 hertz. Delay 1 is at 0.0 milliseconds. Delay 2 is at 0.3 milliseconds. So a really tight delay. The depth is at 20 milliseconds, and the feedback is at 10%. Turn the low pass filter all the way up so we just get a full frequency range of the chorus. And the mix is at 40%. So we're just mixing in that wide sound right there with the chorus. Alright, now time to multi-band compress it. Let's make it nice and thick. Turn on multi-band, put the mix all the way up. The threshold is at negative 12.3. The ratio is 4:1, and I believe the time variables are as, you know, as it comes default. And you can see where I have all of these bands right there. I just really boosting the high end and stuff like that. Now let's listen to it. Oh, it suddenly got super huge. So then we add some reverb to top it off. We have, what am I doing here? Yeah, I'm doing this whole gating the reverb trick with envelope 1. The reverb mix is at 0%, and it's going up 19 with this envelope 1. So when we're holding down, we have a big reverb. Then we let go, the reverb is all the way gone. Why are my eyes watering? Jeez, what the heck? Woke up a while ago. Okay. This is on a hall reverb. The size is 35%. The decay is at 4.7 seconds. I didn't low cut any of the frequencies on this one. It just helped to kind of thicken up the sound. And the high cut is at 35%. I believe these are normal. There's 25% and 20%, you know, just for the spin and the spin depth. Alright, and I believe that is all I did to the sound. I ended with the reverb. Yeah, okay. So that is the patch, and with the post-processing was just the EQ ducking things down, but you wouldn't want that in your song, you know? And I decided not to add the horns of here, so it sounds almost exactly like this original bass. There you go, and the key to this, like I said, was to remember that the two parts are the big crunchy growly bass at the beginning, and then the screech on top that really makes the bass what it is, and that hydraulic presence. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and a sub if you haven't already for more tutorials. I'm planning on doing a lot more during the winter break. Like I did one yesterday, and I'm doing one today, and I just have a lot of time, and there's a lot of requests I'm getting to, and I know y'all are liking my videos, so I'm just working a lot on that. Alright, thank you for watching, and as always, peace out.